What's going on, everybody? It is another just morose night covering Atl Utd. But yeah, it's a 3-2 loss to our neighbors in the south, Charlotte FC. 3-2 loss, and it could have been worse. But, yep, it's just one of those matches where they smashed and grabbed. Charlotte were very clinical. They didn't need that many chances. We had the lion's share of a lot of the chances. But besides going up first, or getting the go-ahead goal, yeah, it's just like the video title implores. What do they talk about at halftime? Because it doesn't work. The team comes out flat every time. And I'm sure Charlotte had that in mind. They were on the pitch before we were. We were kind of pulling our kind of opponents at the bends type of thing, arriving late. And yet, yeah, they were definitely still more ready. And they knew exactly what they needed to do. They bamboozled us, went very direct, incisive, and were able to put one and pull one back immediately. And yeah, for all the good work in the first half, where yes, maybe we weren't the most, I guess, creative in the final third, it really just upsets the whole apple cart. Because, yeah, you have good vibes going into the half, and then, yeah, just time and time again, come out of the half, shit the bed. And not only that, we allow them to score 2 more times. 2 more times. And then so, yeah, at that point, you are already trying to go for it. Now you even further have to go for it. And that halftime substitution, a bit perplexing. Morales, taken off. I thought he was having a decent match. Yes, he was maybe the pressing trigger for Charlotte. But still, there wasn't an issue. Unless it was an injury. It didn't make any sense. Amador came on. Ronald Hernandez, pretty much, kind of had to, be the right center back after Edwards came off. We had, I believe, 4 different right center backs in this match. What the hell was that about? Like, yeah, you're going to concede a lot of goals if your defense cannot be set. If your center back partner has no idea who's next to them. And they have clearly no chemistry. And then plus, you have one of the smallest defenders in Ronald Hernandez playing right center back. And then he gets eaten alive for pace. Wilfred Zaha they knew exactly what to do. Hit that right side because it is susceptible. Simple as that. Like, the right side of our defense, yeah, even when Brooks Lennon came on, it's just like, yeah, just go at it. But yeah, those of you that joined early, appreciate you guys. Joshua, Michael, Nick, cheers to you guys. But yeah, Joshua Ilsa says, this is not my team I remember for Atl Utd. It's definitely not a lot of the memories that we would like to have, for sure. And yeah, it's a long way from 2019. It's been 6 years. That's kind of wild. Michael Bynenson says, we need to sign a petition for a new coach. There is just sadness. Rob did an amazing job with almost the same squad, and this guy just not doing something right. Today, yes. There were some head scratchers, and so Morales, if he wasn't injured, it's very perplexing why he was taken off. I didn't have any issue with him on the pitch. So, yeah, until we find that out, very strange. And then to keep Ronaldo Hernandez in the right center back position, I mean, just bring on an experienced center back. I mean, yeah, it's just we need that balance, and there is no balance within our center backs. Because I thought Schleich had a really good game. You know, at one point he bailed Derek Williams out. But as far as Dyla being the one at fault here as well, I mean, yes, he chooses the players that are in those positions, but Charlotte did everything right in essentially attacking that weak side. Now, I think the players have very much everything to do with why we are where we are in the standings, why we have the record that we do. Can Rob Valentino do better? Maybe slightly, but this squad is still flawed. Yes, he was able to galvanize them to, at the end of last season, beat Messi, of course. But the problem is that, yeah, during the season, Rob Valentino, his record really wasn't that much better than Gonzalo Pineda. So I think it's very much still the residual effect of Carlos Bocanegra. But is Dyla perfect? By no means. Nick Dunbar says, what a travesty. Why do we play the last 10 minutes like the old Atl Utd used to play 80 minutes? I'm trying to understand that. But Ronnie said, soft, no character. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was character in fighting back, but there's just some moments where you want the ball to move forward, and we're still not. Still not with consistency, especially with the urgency that we need. Fabian Perez says, I swear the players just take a nap while on drugs during halftime. Man, that must be the quickest halftime nap. They just get out, groggy, and they're like, huh, what? Oh, shoot, they scored. Oh, and it's just like, it's time after time that this just keeps happening. Let's see, Connor says, or Connor? Yeah, Connor. I think that Charlotte has earned the right to call the Bens their second home, watched a little bit of it since the crew were delayed, and man, Atl Utd started off hot, but then they let off the gas. I don't even know if they let off the gas. They just got gobsmacked in the beginning of the second half. You know, you don't really. The defense didn't even have any time to play together. Within the first minute, they scored. I mean, it's just, yeah. They knew exactly what to do. But yes, Charlotte, yep, the Bens is their second home. They do really well here. They're not scared at all. Joshua says, I'm so sorry Atl Utd lost. Well, yeah. I mean, it's just like, with how decent of a first half that was, it's as equally bad of a second half. And yeah, we were able to pull one back, but yeah, I mean, the goals, I mean, Muyamba rose really high as the smallest man on the pitch to be able to get that first goal for us. And that's that kind of third man run that you want to see from the team. Because, yes, the midfielders need to get involved in the goal scoring. And so it was really good to see Muyomba get a goal. And then Atl, there's some good combination play for the second goal. In and around the box. Some cute stuff. And then Atl was able to get on the end of it. Basically, the goalkeeper, he kind of got a little bit on the ball. And so, there was some backspin, but it was able to roll through the back of the net. But, yeah, I mean, it's just, you can't concede 3 goals when, like, you're not going to win many games when you concede 3 goals. And sometimes even 2. And I just don't understand why the apple cart needed to be upset in defense. What was the issue? I hope some journo asked about it. Because there's also the Miggy thing with being captain. No one has asked. We got to get some questions answered. But Sabal Labtanite 23 says, should we sign Tato Martinez and sack Ronnie Who? Connor says, Charlotte to me looks way more deadly without Patrick Ajiman than they did with him. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, he is, obviously in Europe now at Derby County, but it's really strange. It's really strange. Like some teams, kind of goals by committee, without their striker, are able to actually play better. And Charlotte, yeah, seem like they are because they, I think, won their last match, scored a few goals too. So, yeah, it's definitely interesting. But yeah, let's get our first guest in here. And let me alert him. But yeah, keep your comments coming, guys. We'll read them out. But yeah, it's definitely just another one of these games. But here we go. Let's get the picture right. Here we go. Boom. All right. Drew, welcome in. Another loss at home. It is not a fortress by any means, but let us know your thoughts on this match.
How do we follow up? Probably our most complete first half with whatever shambolic start to the second half we had. Like, I know we didn't get a bunch of goals in the first half, but as a whole, we dominated and we kept possession and we consistently stopped Charlotte from being able to have any attacking presence in that first half. And then a minute in, we can't sort out our back line, and it costs us basically the game. Our heads dropped, and everything ended after that. And I'm going to put this kind of loss really on Dyla here. Unless there was an injury, why are we bringing off a center back at that point? There is no reason, because now you shift over your one of your wing backs into your center back and expect him to basically figure out what's going on in the first minute of the half, and miscommunication at the back between him and Hernandez, and it's an easy tap in. What are we doing?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's it's just like, yeah, we're asking for it pretty much, and especially with guys that are not built for a four-man defense. And so basically, yeah, Derek Williams returned, but then, yeah, okay, we again just can't figure out who our best defense is. And yeah, I think there was. I mean, we kept a clean sheet in the first half. Why are you removing players from the defense? It's it's fascinating, and especially because we had a lot of shots in that first half. And
Yes, we did,
yeah,
and especially somebody like taking off Morales. Morales has been our most solid center back this entire stretch run since Williams and Gregerson went down.
yeah,
He has been our most consistently well playing center back. Why are we taking him off the field if there wasn't an injury?
yeah, yeah. It's a big question, and I really want to know because yeah, some of the other matches not really on Dyla. I feel like, and I see a lot of people calling for his head for previous matches. I mean, this one, I understand.
Yeah.
But does it mean that he's ultimately at fault for this entire season and he should be the fall guy? I don't know. I'll pose that question to you.
I don't think so. This is the one of the few times that I can lay the blame at him. Most of the time, it's been on the players that he has, and unfortunately, what we have right now isn't good enough. So he's trying to work with what he's got, and I think it was just a massive blunder because you pull off Morales and you then immediately later on shift Hernandez back into a center back role. Why would you do that sort of move? It just makes no sense at that point. And then Hernandez goes down with cramp or tightness, and we have to throw on a Braum at the end of the game to basically try to get something out of the game, and it just baffles me. That is a mismanagement of the game at that point.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's just like, one of your depth players goes down with a cramp, and it's like, the very reason why he's playing is because you're trying to mitigate injuries and one give some players some playing time, but also rest some guys because yes, we just had a Wednesday match, 3 games in 8 days essentially is a lot. Yeah, especially these guys who, yeah, just it seems like fatigue sets in really quickly, but it's also the question of this video title. What do you think happens at the halftime talks?
Nothing. That's the only thing that can be said. Nothing, because if there is something being said, nothing is working. Nothing is being said of any meaning to the players. And if that's the case, that's not a good thing. That either means one of two things. The players are choosing not to listen, and that means that is not a good thing, and that means that it is becoming toxic in there. Or the coaching staff is not saying anything of meaning, which is also a bad thing, which means I don't know if we can trust that coaching staff. And either way, it's a situation where something's got to give here. Something has to change.
Mm. So that's a very curious statement that you just made. What do you think needs to change?
I think we've seen enough with enough different coaches that I think it's the group of players that we have. I think there is a lack of a defined leadership, a lack of defined character group. I think players aren't being held accountable within themselves, and I think that is a major issue of this team. And I think younger players need to start having a role in this team. Players that will not care for all this, maybe, let's say, politics of a locker room, and just want to play the best soccer they can to continue to get minutes for this team at this point. Because yes, the first half we had was really promising. I that was some of the best soccer I have seen from this team in a long time. It was attacking soccer. We continued to keep the ball and try to get good attempts on goal. That's probably the best thing I've seen all season from this team, is our varied attack finally starting to show up. We had early crosses. We had both the right and left sides starting to make plays, and then our goal is a midfielder stepping up as a late run and getting a goal. That's exactly what we need. We need players like that and midfielders like that making runs and scoring goals like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, taking up the space that's afforded, and playing the defense that's in front of you. And yeah, there were a lot of early crosses. There were, Ronaldo Hernandez, for all the trouble that he had in the second half, the first half, I thought he had a good first half. He was crossing early. It was within stride. It wasn't, overhit. It was actually, like a good, decent amount of curl on his crosses as well, that it was in a dangerous area, and it was begging to be, done something with in the box. And so, it wasn't overhit to the back post to where nobody is there, no one's expecting it, that type of thing. And it's just, we start the homegrowns, in a few spots, with Morales, with Brennan, with, who was it as well? Edwards. And so,
Edwards.
it's basically, it looked pretty decent from that standpoint. Like, they were putting that fight in and winning their duels. I think that second half, when it started, took the wind out of the sails a little bit, heads went down, and then they essentially stopped trying to win their duels, because they just kept being second best pretty much on everything. If it was a battle for the ball, they were losing it. And you can't win many games if you, one, down tool, and then also lose your duels. It's a recipe for what we saw in the second half. But
Yeah.
go ahead. Yeah.
I was gonna say, even if Ronnie wanted to make a stub like that, I think the better option was pulling off Hernandez and moving Edwards to that side, because we've seen him play in that position and do pretty well. And you can bring in Amador to fill in for Edwards, and I think you get the desired result you would be looking for. But pulling out Morales just baffles me. I know I'm stuck on this, but it just confuses me so much.
Yeah. It just it's one of the most befuddling things that I've seen a coach do. But let's see. So we have some comments in the chat here. Nick Dunbar says either he wants to be fired or he wants some of these guys gone. I think it's the latter. I don't know if he's going to outright try to be fired, but yeah, with him saying that soft, no character, I mean, yeah, that's pretty telling that he has his favorites. He has people that he trusts and doesn't trust. Go ahead.
I think he's made it very clear in how he's kind of called for new players to be brought in at this transfer window. I think he wants his squad. He does not like what he has here.
Yeah. I think the damning thing about the MLS season as well, though, is that, yeah, we can bring in people in this transfer window, but the season's pretty much almost done. Like, and it's just like at that point, like, okay, great. You brought in these players so they can play like 8 games. Like, woo. Yeah, they really made an impact there. I mean, yeah, the transfer window either needs to be shifted up or more games need to be played later. Because, yeah, there are some times where we're playing these weekday matches when, why? Like,
Yeah.
why the hell are we playing these games like so close together? I understand maybe from a standpoint of, scheduling for the stadium, but for just, a season standpoint, you have so few games, in the latter half because of Leagues Cup, and
Yeah.
it's the biggest reason, but who the F cares? Like, you're gonna devalue your league because you want to have this money grab cup competition and just bunch up a whole bunch of games on these weekday matches that, let's be honest, not that many people pay attention to, not the masses, not the casuals. Like, I hold major issue with how MLS runs their league. But
And sadly, not even the really dedicated fans are, because of time scheduling and stuff like that, they are harder to get to as well during the week, and it makes no sense.
exactly, it's basically they're shooting themselves in the foot, and then they are wondering why. Maybe, just numbers are down, that type of thing. But anyway, so Connor says, I think that Charlotte has earned the right to call. No, we already said that. Let's see. Saba says, should we sign? No. Why have I read these already? Okay, what's going on? Okay, Nick Dunbar says, under Tata, we played this relentless, vertical, somewhat reckless attacking football. Teams were afraid to go forward because as soon as they lost the ball, boom, we were going forward. Well, yeah, we had runners and they were fed. So, it was like you had Tito Villalba, you had Miggy, you had Jose Martinez all running, and you had the likes of Gressel feeding them. You had the likes of, as well, LGP from deep, and, with Nagby as well, just keeping things ticking. And yeah, with that reckless abandon, with that verticality, yes, you can be very dangerous when you also have goal scorers like Joseph Martinez, like Tito, who know where the back of the net is and are not afraid to shoot. And I think there are a lot of moments in some of these games where, yeah, some players are allergic to shooting. They don't want to be that guy that, overhits it and embarrasses themselves a little bit. Like,
Now,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I did see a little bit better today of people willing to shoot from outside the box. I'll give them that today, but in general, we don't shoot. We don't take the opportunities. We don't take those shots when we have the space, and it's killing us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, very telling is last match where Jamal Tiare, he gets the ball between center backs. He has acres of space, and yet he passes it back to the right back. What? Like, you're the striker. You need to take a shot. If it's outside of the box, like, especially if you're on the edge of the box, yeah, take a touch or shoot. But baffling, absolutely baffling. Josh says, "How was your game?" Okay, yeah. I think he was talking about Kamek. Losing Charlotte has to be the worst feeling in the world. It's up there. I don't know if in the world, because it's like Charlotte has kind of got our number for whatever reason. Just like, us with Orlando for a minute. Although it wasn't that bad. It wasn't ever that bad. We had Orlando's number for a good number of years where they just never won. So, it's at least not that bad, but I think in our last 6 they have 5 wins and we have 1, so it's not great. But let's see. Patrick Kager says, when can our new defender start playing? I believe it's next week. So
I think it's when the window opens. I think he's available to play then.
Right. So Enya Mahai should be ready, and I think it'll be interesting where he actually is going to be able to play, and who is his partner. But who do you think?
What foot is he? I haven't fully looked into him.
Yeah. So he's right-footed. But he can play as a left-sided center back as well. He has played a good number of minutes there. So, yeah, I mean, there are a lot of options. Not many of them good, but there are definitely...
Honestly, I want to see Morales in his favored position. If he can take that position next to Morales,
yeah,
I would not hate that, because... I'm going to be honest here. Efrain Morales looks like our starter for the rest of the year. He's been solid. Yes, he has a hiccup here or there, but he's usually able to recover and make up for his mistake. And he's young. He's still developing. If he's doing this right now, I want to keep running him out. He has been performing day in, day out. There's not many players I can say that have been performing at a level that is required of them on this team. And him, Bartosz Slisz have probably been the only two.
Yeah, from a starter standpoint, yeah. I mean, I think some plaudits need to also go to Miggy. He got an assist in this game. He got an assist in the last match as well. And I mean, he's keeping a lot of things ticking, and helping us keep that possession that we were, really, I think, able to control the match in the first half, and the second half kind of bailing us out at times. I see a lot of people giving a lot of crap to Miggy, and some of it is warranted, but I think this match, I didn't have any problems with him. I mean, I think he was, definitely trying to make a lot of every attack that we had happen. And, yeah, it's just like dragging defenders out of position, and then, being able to go from left to right pretty much. He's running almost the entirety of, maybe midfields from the right side to left side just to keep possession at times. And, it's just, I think it tells you, though, unfortunately, some of our other players are not making themselves available enough. I think that's, again, part of the problem. But let's see. So Nick says, 4 guys advancing to the box and ball coming in, all hands to the pump defending. Then they boot it because they have too many forward to counter press if they tried to build. Pump defending? I don't really understand maybe what you're talking about there. But, I mean, as far as our pressing, it's been better, but it's still, I don't think we have, like, outright triggers that we are, that it's, like, smart pressing. I think there's still, unfortunately, a lot of headless chicken kind of running. And, you're gonna wear out, and that's why you see maybe dips within matches because the press isn't coordinated. But yeah, let's see what else. There's a lot of good comments in this chat. I won't be able to read everything, so just to keep things moving forward, and some of it just kind of reiterates. But yeah, Dallin Hammond says if Henderson doesn't get rid of Moranchuk in the next 5 days, then let's see. It says then I officially have zero respect for anyone in the FO anymore. And
can we stay on this one?
Sure.
I want to. I keep seeing a lot of the Moranchuk hate, and I need to talk about this because I don't know if people are actually watching the game. I know he doesn't show up on the score sheet a lot on this team, but especially in this stretch of games, I don't see anything too much wrong with his play. He has been doing what he does best, and that is popping up in random spaces and being able to place balls in areas where players should be able to get on the end of it and go attack it. Even today, he had a couple great chances. He had one where he basically was dribbling in a phone booth and played a ball to Miggy, and Miggy wasn't able to curl it enough, and it got saved. And that he is doing what he does best. If this team was looking for an Almada replacement, that Moranchuk was not him. Moranchuk is somebody that likes to ghost into spaces, likes to kind of blend into the crowd and then pop out and make a brilliant pass. He's starting to shoot a lot more here too, which is good to see. I don't think he is the issue, unfortunately. I think it's the blend we have. I don't think we have somebody solid on that left side. With Ronnie, I don't think Saba's going to get much more time, and I think his time is limited with us. But I know there's all this hate on Moranchuk. I don't think it's fully warranted right now, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I agree to an extent. I think it's there are players on this team that are misfits, and that much is very obvious. But they're no longer occupying maybe the same spaces anymore. But there is I think it seems to be where I think to your point, Thiago Almada, like he's that ball carrier. He's that guy that will take on pretty much the entire team. But we're not going to find that. But Moranchuk is not that type of player, and I think that's maybe why the front office was like, okay, well Miggy does seem to want to be that guy that dribbles at the defense a lot more, but he can, and I think the difficulty is that he's not someone that can dribble into the box as well as maybe a Thiago Almada, and unfortunately that keeps us kind of around the box a lot more, and unfortunately it doesn't really create a ton of chances per se. Like Miggy's able to keep the ball at a pretty good rate, but ultimately you want to get chances in the box, and it's the weight of pass, it's the how many of the balls went to the byline because and not from Miggy alone, but a lot of the players overhit, and it's like that through ball, I think we were trying it time and time again, which is good, but we just don't have those players that are willing to and capable of playing that type of ball. And Moranchuk, he's more of that quick pass, not really dribble at the defense type of number 10. And yeah, he'll pick a pass that's like decent, but I think the problem is it's either the player on the end of it or it's the type of ball that was played into them, and they just basically are not able to maybe have it on their favored foot so that they don't have to take multiple touches, so that they can actually, when you're in the box, you have basically one touch. And you don't have time. And basically, yeah, I think a lot of times we just, I don't know, it seems to be lost on the players, on the team. I don't understand it. Like, you, in the best leagues, don't have that time, but also in MLS. But, let's see. Yeah, the stream is dipping a little bit. Okay, right now it seems good, but let's see. A1 Products MRO to renew or not renew my season tickets. I mean, man, it's a good question. It's a good question. I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but the if the the tickets are a la carte and cheaper, I don't blame you. But let's see. Connie says, AJ, question for you. Poof, you are now GM. Garth is gone. What do you do to help the team win? I mean, I'll answer it after you, Drew, you answer it. I think, since you're here, it's, yeah. Let us have your thoughts if you were.
First, we need to bring in a left winger. For damn sure.
Yeah.
I like Brennan, but I don't know if he's developed fully enough to be able to start day in, day out at that position.
Yeah.
We need a more progressive passing midfielder that can play alongside Schleich. Schleich, again, is doing the dirty work, covering all the ground, and doing well, again, to carry the ball and drive it into spaces. But he does have that, he doesn't have that vision for that line-breaking pass, that lofted pass that can break down defenses. He doesn't have that, and we need somebody that can do that and play alongside him. And then we need to get depth. We need depth at positions. We probably need to find somebody that can eventually replace Lennon. We need somebody for coverage for Amador. We need. I think we need to start looking at different center backs here, at least more depth, because I don't know if Gregerson and Williams will be here at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I think, yeah, it's great stuff. I think it's definitely, to answer that, I think it's, with Steven Gregerson, with Derek Williams, I think you let probably both of them go. Unless they can come back on, depressed wages or, whatever, maybe, sure. But even then, I don't think it's probably worth it. So, yeah, you get guys that can stay healthy, that don't break down in the middle of your season and pretty much force you to play guys that are not maybe, the answer. Luis Abram as well, probably. Efrain Morales, yes, seems like a player for the future for sure. Kind of to talk to your point earlier, and it's that where, he's on the cheap, he is developing, and he's showing a lot of tools, and yeah, I think it's really very telling that Noah Cobb not even in the side, and it's I think it speaks to probably Dyla not favoring him because of his size. I think there's something to it where, as a center back, maybe if he plays in a less physical league, if he plays in, Argentina maybe if he plays, but that's gonna be very difficult for him to make his way over there. I think he would actually have to be, one of those outstanding players for, those less physical leagues to look at him. So, yeah, I'm not so sure his future is with this side, but yeah, from a left winger standpoint, yeah, we need goals from our winger, 100%, because if your striker's not scoring, one of your wingers needs to be scoring, a lot. And I think, it's like Moranchuk, while, your points are noted, it is also, can we find a better 10? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you can move him on, you do. And, yes, a more dynamic number 8 for sure, because Schleich is our destroyer. He's not a deep lying playmaker. He's not a guy that will run the game for you. He will break up a bunch of play, and he will bail out your center backs and generally shield your defense. But sometimes as well, as we know, attack is the best type of defense. If you can keep the ball, and that's why, Tiki Taka worked so well. Like, if they can't get the ball off you, well, then you don't even have to play defense. It's just, yeah, you just play it around them. But, yeah, it's a lot of that. I'm not sure that, yeah, Latte Lat's going to be moving. That's not going to be, part of the solution. Miggy probably not going to be moving either. I think he's being earmarked for the captain in the future. That's why he's getting the captain's armband. I'm speculating anyway. And I think it's a very astute point that you made, last week, Wednesday, about Guzan and, that cheek injury where, yeah, talking, shouting. Yeah, I mean, it was uncharacteristic of him to spill it in the box like he did tonight.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's maybe some of his vision being impaired a little bit because of the mask. I don't know, but
I also think that third goal, that's on him. We did have the defensive breakdown, but that was a savable goal, and it looked like he just didn't plant himself right and did not get a good push to make that save, and that's his age showing there, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, were you of the ilk that maybe Hibbert should have started?
I would have liked to see him, but I knew it wasn't going to happen. I do think at this point, Goose should not see a minute of action in Leagues Cup. I think it is time to fully look, and if Hibbert gets a good run of games in Leagues Cup, given the end of the season, I think it's time to start looking at what else we have.
Right. Because, yeah, it is, we don't want to be doing that at the start of next season, where it's like, oh, well, we have an unknown in Hibbert, and can he, produce at this level? And, it's, I mean, the season is pretty much, at that territory, you lost at home. Like, this is the death knell, unfortunately. Like, playoffs? We're talking about playoffs? Nah. Like, it's done, unfortunately. Like, now, you played the kids, and they played a very good half, and then you played your adults, and you played one of the worst halves. Like, it's just, it's that bad taste in your mouth, exactly. And, Kamek says, you never walk alone, says, not gonna lie, I almost rolled my eyes out of my head when they asked us to vote on who should get the Golden Spike. I know, I loathe when we do the Golden Spike when we lose. Don't do it. Yes, I know it's sponsored, but you're making it look foolish. It's just, the sponsor should just realize, hey, like, you're not going to get promotion when we lose. Like, just, we'll have a backup plan if we lose. You'll still get promoted. You just don't, you don't get the golden spike thing. But, and yeah, I don't think anyone deserved it, but if you twisted my arm, I would certainly give it to Miggy. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think he was the person that was trying to make things happen as much as anybody on the team. And with the assist as well, yeah, it's the goal doesn't happen. The second goal doesn't happen without Miggy, and also without Atl Utd, of course. But
I was gonna say I'd probably give it to Sleesh.
Mm-hmm.
He's just been phenomenal for most of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, especially I think in this past month since he's come back into the side, since basically Jay Fortune has gone down, unfortunately. But yeah, so Nick says smart trigger pressing with this group doesn't work. I prefer Hainsey man marking more than this garbage. Put your man in your pocket, lock him up. Well, that's the thing. Hainsey is a pressing type of coach, and I think that's what he was good at. Like the Bielsa disciple that he is, that he wasn't really man marking. It was more the pressing. And yeah, I think maybe there were times that he was maybe man marking and kind of some zonal as well. But I think larger part, I mean, yes, to some degree, we are a directionless, identityless team. Because, yeah, when you're not good, you don't really have, those things that you can fall on. But some do, and DC obviously they have Benteke and they play Route 1. What do we do? Yeah, exactly. Your face says it all. But yeah, if you want to answer it, go ahead.
We don't have anything. We try to be this heavy possession team, but yet we also try to be this counter-attacking team that hits quick on the break, yet we can't take shots in the box, and we don't have an identity. That's the problem, is we don't.
Yeah. And I think that's the problem, is that also, yes, our first choice center backs have been gone for most of the season. So, yeah, you can't defend. So if you're trying to be a team that hits people on the counter, you have to be somewhat stout defensively. And so, yeah, we're trying to be that team that plays in possession, but then you lose the ball in really dangerous areas because you are not good enough on the ball, not dynamic enough. It's too obvious. And so, yeah, teams just sit back because they realize, yeah, you're basically toothless. You can have the ball you want, but you're not going to do F all with it. So we're that team that is too big for its britches, and unfortunately, first choice defense not there. That's that depth thing that you're talking about. And ultimately, yeah, like that's why you see these massive score lines against us, because we're still trying to, some of the teams that are good defensively but not good in attack, they just set up shop. Like at that point, yeah, you're losing 1-0. It's like, okay, all right, well we'll lose 1-0. Like, like we're still trying to go for it. Which, yes, we want that to happen at home, but that's why you see these score lines, because it's like, yeah, we're that team that's still trying to make things happen. Naivete sets in, and it's just, yeah, you get overrun. Like, unfortunately, I've seen this movie a bunch, and yeah, with 2010 Arsenal, yeah, it was a lot of that. Oh yeah, like. Yeah, you had the helter-skelter defense, but then, yeah, you were still trying to be that side, and that's why you get a 10-2 from Man U. Like, that's what happens.
I was gonna say, there was a couple Bayern versus Arsenal Champions League games. Yeah,
those 5-1s. Yeah, exactly. Those still haunt me. No, it was an 8-2 by Man U, but yeah, it was 10-2 in aggregate with Bayern. So yeah. Either way. Anyway, so let's see what else. Miranchuk is class. People are complaining because he lacks some dynamics. He has some Gressel-like qualities on the ball, delivering and passing. Agreed. But it's also, he is about as pacey, maybe a little faster than Gressel. But yeah, it's just, again, can we find better players? Yes. So,
I was gonna say,
yeah.
I think he's an amazing player, and I don't think he is right for this team. I do think we need a more dynamic 10, and it's sad because I think he is a very talented player, and I see his talents, but I don't think his talents work for this team.
Yeah.
How it's made.
And that's exactly the point. Yeah, it's spot on because it's this. He's not the number 10 that Atlanta United fans need. Because, yeah, you go from Almada, who's just a dynamo. He can do everything. And, he not only is pacey, but he can dribble past the entire team. He can take shots from downtown. And, yeah, there's a reason why he's at Atletico Madrid now. Because he's that talented. Are we going to be able to find probably another player as talented as him? No. But can we find more dynamic 10s? Yes. The very fact that since he got Evander, a player like that, it's like those are the types of trades that we should be making. Like within the league, yes, identify the best players. We have the money to throw around in that sense. If it comes to wages, roster structure wise, I mean, yeah, it'll open up in the winter. So, okay, yeah, but yeah. Nick says 2010 Arsenal. Yes, dark days indeed. Yep, indeed. But let's see. Yeah, Nick says Miggy needs to play in the carrier role if his game were adapted to the Nagby role. Carries, circulates. Once my screen goes, there we go. Clock, tempo manager. This team would be so much better. That's the thing. Like, I don't think he's getting stretched playing in that role a little bit right now. I don't think he should be playing in that role. You want to find another guy that plays that role because him playing the 8, yeah, he can maybe do it, but and maybe at this point in his career, maybe. I mean, yeah, because he's still beating a lot of guys for pace, but I think the problem is ultimately, he's not, as far as goals wise from a forward, there's just not enough. And in those forward positions, you need goals. And, Lat getting 7. I know before the season started, or not before the season, but pretty much after that month that Emmanuel Lat had where he scored 5 goals, we were like, man, is he going to get 20? Man. Oh, that is...
It'll be good if he gets 10.
Exactly. And, man, it's... I think they were posting... Yeah, they posted something on George Campbell today, I think, which was super great. He's at West Bromwich now. Got sold from CF Montreal. Yeah, definitely bravo. Because, he's a hell of a player. And, yes, they were like... They did a little side-by-side where he was in the academy, a photo there, and then him in the West Brom colors. And the caption basically said, like, if this George only knew that he was going to be in Europe. And it's pretty much that. For us, it's like, man, if we only knew how bad we were going to be from pretty much April on. It's like, yep. Like, the 20 goals, yeah. Very, very wishful thinking. Nick Dunbar says Evander to ATL. He's the kind of player we want. I mean, since he ain't gonna get rid of him, I think yeah, Portland was a fool to get rid of him. But you know, I maybe understand to some degree, but yeah, like MVP type player, and that's just wild. That's absolutely wild. But Drew, final thoughts.
I have nothing else to say. This has just been it's been a season. That's all I can say.
That indeed it has, and yeah, I mean it's you don't have to say more because it really is ultimately like that speaks volumes in itself. But Drew, thank you so much as always. Enjoy the rest of your night. Be well.
See ya.
See ya. Okay. We will bring on our next guest. And let's see, here we go. Let's see. Yes, and then Nick, the other Nick, will go last. Anyway, sorry guys. Usually there are. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Michael at least is not sick anymore, but he's with family, so unfortunately that's why he has not been able to break away. But yes, everyone still give some love to Michael and his family. But okay, Victory 3.0 says the writing was on the wall from the beginning and you chose to be positive. How dare we be positive about our team? Man. Like, how dare? We're just so naive. But, yes, okay. Let's get Nick and the ATL in here. And yes. But I'm not gonna lie, guys. I really need to use the restroom. I'm maybe gonna put this on a BRB real quick. I'll be just 1 minute. Yep. 1 second, guys. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Boom. We are in. How to use the restroom real quick. When you're doing the solo, yeah, you can't. There are no other options. But here we go. Nick and the ATL, welcome in. Let us have your thoughts.
Which version do you want? The clean version or the rough version?
You be you, man. If it's raw, if it's hurt, you be you.
This one hurts a fucking lot. This is a tough one to swallow. This is really tough to swallow. Because this team just gets my hopes up. We play a good 45 minutes for once. And then in the first few seconds, we get punched in the face, and then we just do not recover completely.
Yeah.
It just floors me how this continually happens.
Yeah.
That we don't get 90 minutes of consistency out of this team.
Yep. I mean, it's been symptomatic the entire season, obviously, but yeah, I mean, I think it's symptomatic from yesteryear too. It's just that for whatever reason, it's very much a bisecting of halves. Like it just cannot be consistent. There's no continuity from any half to the next, and like this video title implores, what do you think happens at these halftime talks?
Does anything happen at these halftime talks? Would be a better way to phrase that, in my opinion.
Sure.
I mean, I really don't know what to say. I mean, I want to know what's really going on here. I mean, full disclosure, as I've said before, I'm no way, shape, or form any kind of expert on. I'm just a fan, which is this Fan TV. This is the place for that.
Yeah.
But I tell you, let me phrase it another way. I work in a TV broadcast facility, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where if people make mistakes, potentially thousands and thousands of people will see said mistake in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And it will cost us money, potentially.
Yeah.
If commercials get lost. And then the aura of blame gets thrown on you. Why did that happen? Why did that technical problem happen? And then us in management, of which, well, I'm an engineer, but I work with the management. We have to figure out, okay, what went wrong? How can we keep that from happening again? Applying that to this scenario, how do we keep letting things go wrong without trying to figure out what's went wrong? How can we fix it? How can we execute better? How can we get results? How can we do anything?
Yeah. Yeah, I can see the hurt in your eyes, the hurt in your voice, and it's, I mean, it pains me.
It hurts!
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to hold my emotions back as much as I can, AJ. I swear to God.
Yeah.
But this has really got me really, really deep tonight. It really has. It really has.
Yeah. And I definitely, it's, it's not something that any of us want to feel, and the very fact that it's your passion coming through. And really that's at the crux of it, is Atlanta United are letting a lot of people down. Because, with the TIFO, that a lot of sweat and effort went into it. And, yeah.
I worked on that TIFO.
Yeah. And,
we all put a lot of sweat and blood into that last weekend.
Yeah.
We built that thing in 2 freaking days. And you all don't know the backstory on that. I cannot talk about it publicly. There was a lot of drama with that. That had nothing to do with this game.
Yeah.
So, and there was a lot of discussion over in the match day chat about it, which I'm not going to bring over here. That's not for this stream.
Yeah. Yeah, but
it's all just boiling over for me.
Right.
Go ahead, AJ. I'm sorry.
No. I'm sorry to interrupt you, man. But it's because, you're absolutely valid in your feelings about, what Atlanta United is drawing out of you. Because, putting forth all this effort, and it's the bravado in which, you want the team to be able to play with. That's why the TIFO was the way it was. But it is also, Charlotte, just how easy they made it seem in order for them to get back into the match. And that's yeah, if you want your fans to have some pride in the club, like you have to win your derby days. Like you have to win that.
Absolutely.
And for them to be able to walk away again at the Benz, Charlotte fans happy and gloating, and it's just, yeah. I mean, I think we kind of know to some degree what Orlando fans were feeling back when, and the vitriol, well, yeah, I think I've mentioned this to you before, but maybe not to the the masses, but we received death threats from Orlando fans back when. Tanner, myself, and I won't get into the nitty gritty of it, but I think our fans are a lot classier than that. So at the very least, there is a little bit of that kind of brethren kind of feel, because as well, you have Anton Walks that kind of ties us together a little bit, and
Yes.
it was very classy to again do the 4th and 5th minute moment of silence, for the numbers that he wore for both Atl United and Charlotte. So it's something that while this may be a kind of very heated kind of game sometimes, at least between some fans, I don't think you really see it boil over onto the pitch. It seems like, okay, some games might be a little bit more hot than others, but this one, I don't think it really felt entirely too much like a derby, but obviously you still want to win this game, and you want to win, especially on a reverse fixture where you lost at their home. You have to take care of business at home, no matter the form that you're in, and that's what hurts. That's absolutely what hurts.
Well, here's the thing that really, really, really got me, and it was after the match. We were breaking everything down in the supporter section.
Yeah.
I was having problems with my equipment, which has nothing to do with the match. It's just problems with equipment. I could hear cheering from way over in the other end of the stadium in the vestibules.
Yeah.
And to be honest,
Good
they
work.
had every right to cheer. They
Right.
they cleaned our clocks. They're a good team. They've fallen on some hard times. I mean, they were doing. We don't need to talk about that, but that hurts some too. To hear them cheering in your home.
Yeah. Yeah. You never want that to happen.
No, you never want that to happen. And as passionate as I am, and as much work as I put in for this, that hurts too. It's not going to make me emotional again or anything, but it did make me rather disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And yeah, we have some good comments in the chat here that I'll read. So basically, Brian Daffenbach says, sadly, those of us from 2017 to 2019 are just floored. Sadly, as a season ticket holder, I'm done. I have flipped my last chicken and rice table. Fair. Yeah, because yes, I don't know if they even still have chicken and rice on as their catering anymore. I have no idea, but I would imagine maybe not the wisest thing. But let's see as well. Kamek says, YNWA says, I have absolutely no love for Goldberg at all, but the tifo was still nice. So definitely.
Thank you.
Yes, some love for that there. Where, yeah, Goldberg, an Atlanta native, and, obviously a wrestler that's, made his name in WCW, WWE. It made sense, of, trying to kind of call Charlotte out with some bravado. He obviously, as well, though, unfortunately, Goldberg lost his match, spoiler, but against Gunther this past weekend. So, there is, yeah, well, it already happened. I mean, no one's gonna watch the PLE or whatever it is after the fact, right? Like, if you're a fan, you probably already, watched it or know about it. Either way, yeah, Goldberg, yeah, I think maybe encompasses our, yes, 2017 to 2019 kind of, I think, attitude for sure. But yeah. Next comment comes from Victory 3.0. The premise was wrong from the beginning. We went backward when we signed Almiron and tried to make him the face of the team. I see what you're trying to say. I disagree, but Nick, what's your thought on that?
Please stop hating on Mickey. He's trying his damnedest. He's a good player. There are a lot of questionable players around him. He's a good player, and I really wish y'all would get off his back. Honestly, he's not the problem.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of players that are not producing. Miggy has never stopped running hard for this team, and as far as, yes, like it mentioned, kind of during Drew and I's talks, yes, there are some players that are misfits on this club, and yeah, you have to get rid of the dead wood there. I would hardly say Miggy is dead wood, because at some point still, like whatever position he plays, he's still, going to be the Energizer Bunny. He's still going to be running for your side, pressing, and in a down season, he's still producing. It's just not at the levels that we know he can, to a degree, at least in the first 2 years that he played with us. But it is also, to some degree as well, he's never been a high output player in every single, goal and assist type of stat column. Because for Newcastle, yeah, it also wasn't that the case either. But I think he can be, a player for us in the future that's, we still run the team through. But, yeah, you got to have the pieces around him. And though, yes, he is getting on the older side. So that can be a little bit of a problem. So I understand. But let's see. Yeah, Kamek says, I was absolutely rooting for Gunther. I was there. Oh, you were there. Yeah, because it was here. But yeah. Anyway, we won't talk about wrestling too much. But yeah. So I mean, it's just like, as far as, I guess from, I guess a passion standpoint, obviously this really, really is upsetting. But how does it affect your big picture?
I really think this loss has really could have done our whole season in, because it's this type of loss is really tough to come back from when we're already so far down the table, and it's you love to say an analysis in sports. What's the turning point, if there is one? Maybe there isn't one, and I really I am so much closer to writing off the season at this point. I don't think the summer transfer window is going to help us at all. It might a little bit. I don't know. I don't have a lot of hope at this point. And we got to turn around and play Seattle next Saturday, and then endure League's Cup, Cash Grab Cup. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's that where it does kind of take the wind out of some sails. This was a 6-pointer for sure, and unfortunately, yeah, Charlotte was able to walk away pretty much with all of those points, and then some, because yeah, it buried us for sure. And as far as the rest of the season goes, I mean, yeah, maybe with Leagues Cup there can be some salvaging. Yes, maybe if you can make a run, if you can, show some better play, because sometimes it is that, with a lot of the other leagues around the world, if you can make some waves in cup competitions, you can kind of at least, salvage your season a little bit. But unfortunately, yeah, we've only been playing, the MLS season the entire year. And yeah, you just compound your problems and you can't refresh essentially. And yeah, it can take a toll mentally, not only on the players and everybody surrounding them, but also the fans, because you don't have this kind of refreshed outlook. And so us not being in US Open Cup, I think was a big detriment this season. Because
I agree.
yeah, you have some moments where, man, we could have, beat up on some smaller teams, have some feel good factor, and get some momentum. But this season has been devoid of momentum. It has.
I'll agree with you at this point that DC United, who's playing just about as horribly as we are still in the U.S. Open Cup, albeit their game with Philadelphia, the quarterfinal, got really deluged and postponed to next month. Yeah. But they're still in it. They're in the final 8.
Yeah.
So that plays right to your point.
Exactly. It's and now, yeah, it's like if they can make a little bit of a run in that competition, then yeah, they start to maybe feel a little bit better about not only their season but their MLS season, and it can really kind of change the outlook for some. But let's see. Kamek says, "Am I the only one that's not sold on Brooks? I feel like it's time for him to go." I mean, I don't think you're the only one.
Oh, absolutely. You're gonna get no question there.
Yeah, that's there's even when he had 11 assists or whatever it was 2 years ago, there were people against him. And yes, now it's he's not producing, and from a defensive standpoint, he was pretty much always someone that was not very good. And yeah, I think it's the injury that he suffered last season that probably is a factor, but it also is he's found out in this league. It's like it's very obvious what he's trying to do, and yeah, I don't think he's getting much love from the fan base. And yeah, I mean, you have to find, I think, someone that's more stout defensively in order for us to be able to, I think, control matches. Because if you're trying to, do one of any of the things that we are, wanting to do, be a possession team, be, a team that hits on the counter, on paper, like, it's just, on paper, it doesn't even look good. So, let's see. Nick, actually, because I think, we do also have Nick coming on, the other Nick. Let's have your final thoughts.
I appreciate everybody in the fan base, against us or not. This is just a game in the end, I mean, but my love for my club is authentic. That's a terrible thing to say. My loyalty to this club is insurmountable, and I will continue to be there. I will continue to support them. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. And I hope that the team knows that even though I complain, I still love them. I still want them to do well. I wish they would do well. I wish we could figure out what is going on here and what to do. And these emotions that you see in me are just someone who has put so much pride, passion, emotion, love into what I do to try to help this club be awesome again. And it's getting really, really tough, you know. These are the moments that try your passion, that try everything, your composure, everything. It's tough to find words. It's tough to find words to describe this. But in the end, I will get over it. I will go on. I will move on. I will be just as passionate in the next week before next Saturday when we play Seattle. And I really love all of you, you know. I really love all of you that do come out, that do continue to support, that do continue to chant with us. Even though it looks horrible and we suck right now, there's got to be better days ahead. We just have to get there. We just have to try to live through it as the best we can, you know? And that could be said about a lot of things in the state of the world right now. Not to try to draw anything off topic, but if you get through adversity, you can conquer anything. And we are going through some adversity right now. And I thank everyone for putting up with me. That's all I have to say.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think no one questions your passion, no one questions your devotion to this club, and it's, yeah, I mean, very well said. And yeah, I think obviously better days are ahead because these are the doldrums for sure. And you know, like we're all here together as a community to ride it out together. And so, you know, it's if you, not just you, Nick, but you know, anybody that's feeling similarly, we're here in the Discord as well. Obviously, this is kind of a therapy for everyone in some sense. So, yeah, I mean, it's you know, hopefully we can, you know, ride this wave, basically, as you know, as they say about grief. Because, yeah, I mean, me personally, I've gone through way worse. This is the doldrums for sure. But yeah, from a, you know, personal life standpoint, as some of you might know, it's, yeah, this sucks for the club, for sure, and I am in no way happy, but yeah, I mean, I guess I have the context, and that's where I'm like, yeah, it's this absolutely you know, is the rock bottom, and unfortunately, yeah, you know, I think, and maybe fortunately, there are brighter days ahead. So,
Absolutely.
Nick,
thank you all very much.
thank you so much, man. Have a good rest of your night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, man. Okay, let's see. What else do we have in the comments here? Yeah, Victory says, we just refer to our biggest earner as an Energizer Bunny. Compare that to how Cincinnati fans talk about Evander. Well, yeah, I mean, he's also a lot younger and a way different type of player. I mean, Miggy, I think we've seen what he can do with us. He wins us a championship. So, you know, it's not exactly like all is lost in that type of sense. Miggy in 2018 had a much better squad around him, as do Cincy. Like this squad here in Atlanta right now. Oh. But Kamek says, we complain because we love them. I'm right there with you, my friend. Yeah, definitely, you know, I think hopefully Nick reads that. But yeah, it seems like Nick actually is with some family as well. We'll read the last of these comments, and if you have some more, get them in before we close out. It is past midnight now, so I think it's probably good to start wrapping it up. But Brian Deffenbach says, from a business sense, they lost millions on this season. Worse yet, they have burned most of the fans for the last time, and that is priceless. Absolutely. I mean, it is, unfortunately, that PTSD kicked in probably for the third time. And it's that. Like, that third time is that charm. And fans are, like, I know a good number of fans that, yeah, I mean, they were there from day one. But, I mean, people have priorities. People have bills. And if the entertainment is no longer entertainment, well then, I mean, you're just asking for it. Like, you're asking to be replaced with something else. It's just like anything. It's like, say, like Marvel movies, right? Everyone super high on them, but you put out a stinker, you put out something that maybe isn't quite as good because, yeah, you have a corporate mandate to, make an X amount of content because you just rolled out a streaming platform. Well, then, yeah, the reputation gets dinged. And you look at where Marvel movies are right now. It's, they're recovering. They're still trying to, like, even if they put out good movies, like, similar stuff might happen with Atlanta United. Even because, yes, we started off the season pretty decently, to a degree, and you still have some fans that are like, I'm on the fence. I don't know. Like, they gotta prove it on a larger stretch, because I think we've seen what can happen. A whole season can just completely go off the rails. Yeah, Victory says, in another world, we would be facing relegation. Yeah. I mean, luckily. But I think that's the crazy part. LA Galaxy, I think maybe last time I checked, I don't know, I can't remember where they are right now, but last time I checked, they are the Wooden Spoon. And they go from winning MLS Cup to pretty much Wooden Spoon. Like, if you pretty much imagine, like Man City or Liverpool win the league and then they get relegated the next season, it's wild. It's wild. Like, that's just that's the parody of MLS and the non-parody, pretty much, of the Premier League. But yep, it is the craziness for sure. But I think this is a good spot to wrap it up, guys. If you're still here, thank you so much, as always, for hanging out, chatting, commenting, watching. Make sure to leave a like, share this video. I mean, there's some really poignant stuff, I think, that, maybe some other fans need to see in order to kind of get that therapy as well. If you have a friend that's, complaining about Atlanta United, tell them about us. Because, yeah, obviously there's a lot of very passionate fans that are not having their voice heard, are not maybe relating to some of the other stuff that's out there, because there's still some sunshine being pumped in some degrees, in some areas. But yeah, indeed. Remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I've been AJ. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Good night.